Welcome to the Scientific Adventures of Beardman. Today we're going to be looking at conservation of energy. Conservation of energy is the idea that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Now in particular we're going to be looking at mechanical energy, which is energy of things we can see. So if we can see an object and it's moving, it's got kinetic energy. And we've talked about that already. If we can see an object and it is in a different location within a gravitational field, well, it's got gravitational potential energy. And there are other kinds, like when springs are compressed, things that we haven't discussed yet. So here, in just a moment, I will be showing you the conservation of energy. I will be jumping from the ground, doing work on myself, a force, over a distance, to give myself kinetic energy. Then that kinetic energy will increase until I've reached the top of this wall and I've got gravitational potential energy. The kinetic energy will convert into gravitational potential energy. Here I go. And now you can see I have potential energy. The kinetic energy that I had converted into gravitational potential energy to change my location within a gravitational field. And that's what we have today on conservation of energy with the Scientific Adventures of Beardman. Remember, mechanical energy will be conserved as long as none of that energy turns into thermal energy. Hey Elijah, what kind of energy do you have?
Potential.
Potential? What's it going to turn into? Kinetic! Here comes Jericho. He's gaining gravitational potential energy by doing work on the stairs on the other side. It looks like Mama's doing some of the work too. So here he is up at the top of the slide with his gravitational potential energy. He's about ready to convert that into kinetic energy. Here he goes, gravitational potential energy turning into kinetic energy. Hey Jericho, is your bottom hot? I think that's friction causing your bottom to get warmer. Say bye-bye. Can you say night-night?
Night-night.
Or at least this morning for me, here on Scientific Adventures of Beardman. Today we're going to take a look at conservation of energy. This idea became crucial as we realized that energy can take many forms and it can change from one form to another. And when it does that, there's never any energy lost and never ever any energy gained. The energy is always conserved. So some of the basic examples deal with mechanical energy, and that's what we'll be dealing with for the most part in this unit. Mechanical energy is basically the energy of things you can see. So there's an object you can see and it's moving, it has kinetic energy. We studied that earlier. If an object we can see is in a different position in a gravitational field, well, then it has energy. And remember, that means it has the ability to do work. Well, those two types of energy can convert from one to the other, and the total mechanical energy remains conserved, as long as we ignore friction. So, right now, I'm up here on top of this wall. If the camera person could please back up, then we can see that I'm up probably about 2 meters up in the air, which means at a mass of 100 kilograms. Oh, Jericho, are you okay? Did you take a tumble? Why don't you run over to Elijah?
Come here, sweetie.
Oh, Elijah's going to help you get up and go over to Mama. He's going to help you. Can you help him? Can you get under his arms and help him up? Can you take help do some work and give him potential energy?
Can you hold on?
Yeah.
No.
And as you can see, my gravitational potential energy turned into kinetic energy as I fell. And then all that energy has now turned into sound, which you heard as I hit the ground, and thermal energy as the molecules are now moving faster and faster. And that's the kinetic energy of things we can't see. We call thermal energy, okay, or things that are too small to see. Well, thank you for joining us today on the Scientific Adventures of Beardman. Thank you, Jericho, for that little mama shout out there, and we'll see you next time. Hey, Elijah, what kind of energy do you have? That's right, potential, and it's going to turn into kinetic. Okay, let's try it over. Ready?
Yeah.
You ready, Mama?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jericho, what kind of energy do you have? That's right, potential. It's going to turn into kinetic.